What does the future hold for SML? Will it continue forever? Will it die within the next year? Well, I've analyzed everything Logan has said about this topic, and I have a theory that might just answer your question. But before we continue with this theory, I need your help. You see, Marvin is about to hit Jeffy with a can of green beans on the head, and the only way you can save him is by liking this video and subscribing to the channel. Don't let Jeffy suffer the consequences of your inaction. Thank you. Yes, the uncertain fate of SML. To understand where it's going, we have to look at where it's been. Logan has a history of starting projects with huge enthusiasm, only to abandon them later on. Remember the SML React series? The animations? Even the gaming channel seems to be fading away. So, is this a sign of things to come, or is SML just going through another one of its phases? Well, in order to understand that, we have to look at the history. In a distant memory, we can go way back to the beginning and look at Logan's time first making the SML channel. Many viewers might be surprised to learn that in the early days of SML, back when Mario and Luigi were the stars, Logan would frequently step away from the channel for extended periods, sometimes a month, sometimes even a year. In fact, I remember this quite clearly because I was a young viewer and I would check his channel daily hoping for a new episode of Mario and Luigi's Stupid and Dumb Adventures, only to not see them. Although these breaks weren't complete departures, of course. Logan was likely occupied with high school and personal life at that time. In fact, I remember he went through a life-threatening surgery at one point, which resulted in videos not coming out on a consistent schedule and sometimes having months with no content. While many fans might be too young to remember this, you may remember Nintendo's involvement with the channel, which also led to some interruptions in the upload schedule. In fact, many people thought SML was going to die once SML sent their cease and desist. We were all worried and the upload schedule was harmed because of it. But ultimately, none of this killed SML completely. Even though there was large breaks, SML bounced back stronger than ever and continuously gets millions of views every single day. So that's not the reason. But what if we take a look at the things that are dead in the SML world? The different projects that Logan has started only to abandon them later. Take the SML React series for example. These were the good old days. Fans loved watching Logan and Tito react to their different videos. I remember loving these videos because they were funny, we got to see behind the scenes on all the mistakes, and we got to see how the sausage was made. But as quickly as these started, these vanished, and we didn't see them for many years. Logan did briefly revive them earlier this year, with us only getting very few videos, then nothing. And honestly, it's a big shame because these were some of my favorite videos that SML has ever made before, and I think a lot of fans share that opinion as well. Then there are the SML animations. No, I'm not talking about Nintendo. I'm talking about the high quality SML animations that happened last year. Logan hired professional animators to recreate classic SML hits. This was a risky move, and although the animations were impressive and gave the characters a fresh new look, high quality animation is expensive. And they didn't get lots of views, so it didn't justify the cost, which led to Logan discontinuing the project after a few animated videos. It was something super exciting that started, but sadly, it failed in the long run. Which brings me to the SML gaming channel, something you may have forgotten about. This was launched earlier this year and was advertised as daily SML gaming videos. However, if you take a look at the channel now, you'll see that the uploads are very inconsistent. We do not see daily videos here. We see bi-weekly, sometimes only monthly videos. It almost appears as if the gaming channel is going to the wayside. But more on this later this week because I have a video coming out that's going to talk about this exact topic in depth. Subscribe to the bell so you don't miss it. Logan starts these big projects and they shine bright like a star, but they ultimately fizzle out and die. Which leads us to the big question. What about the main SML channel? What will happen to it? Well, I have 3 different mini theories on what I think could possibly be the future of SML. My first theory of SML's future is that SML becomes a corporate entity, which means that they will continue on into the far future, much like SpongeBob or other viral cartoons have. My theory is that due to the advancements of AI, within 10 years at most likely within 3 even, we will be able to replicate people's voices to a perfect degree. In fact, we can almost already do that. So I think that once AIs become so advanced that they can replicate voices perfectly, SML could be created by different people, and then they will just make the voices afterwards so they all sound consistent. Because that's part of the reason that SML has been able to stay so popular. If Jeffy's voice actor Lance ever changed, people would get mad. I mean, just look at how people reacted to the puppets at first for proof of this. This is actually not as crazy of a thought to think about as you may think. It may be crazy in the short term, but due to the fact of SML's popularity, it would be very strange if it just went away and disappeared. It gets more viewership than many cartoons do today. And from my personal background working in film production, I can tell you that companies would kill to have an IP like this. Likely, either a company will come in and buy the rights to SML, or Logan will create that company himself and hire the people to do it himself, ultimately to leave a legacy for his family. This is very likely something that would happen, and you may not even know it's happening due to this being something that doesn't need to be public knowledge for it to go down. Which brings me to my second theory, that SML dies on its own. This could be due to being sued by other big companies for using their characters, similarly to the Nintendo cease and desist order, because they do use some characters that are owned by other companies still, like Shrek, Woody, and a couple of the McDonald's characters. And if those companies take a similar stance that Nintendo did, that could prove to be quite a big issue for Logan. And ultimately, if they go through another suing again, they might just quit, because after all that stress, what would be the point in continuing? Which brings me to another reason, and that could be the lack of new ideas and lack of getting viewership. If they went on a long stretch of getting low views and low viewership, it could be likely that they just stop uploading, because most likely Logan has made enough money to retire already, so they don't have to continue making videos. And if their videos aren't doing as well as they used to, retirement is definitely an easy option to consider. Although, when I really think about it, I don't think this one is likely because Logan seems to be very resilient and seems to like creating content quite a bit. So I don't really think they're gonna die on their own because they're almost too big to fail. Which brings me to my third and most likely theory, that Logan decides to retire the series permanently on his own accord. This would not be due to them being sued or having any viewership issues. This would just be Logan deciding that he's done with SML and he wants to move on and do something else with his life. If you look closely, this seems to be the natural course of huge viral YouTubers. And I'd personally say that either this theory or theory one that I mentioned is the one that is most likely that is actually going to happen. And this isn't even just a theory, because in different Chili vlogs, Logan has said that once he's 40 years old, he will retire the SML series and quit YouTube altogether.
No, the age that I think would be the time to retire is 40.
Although we do need to take this with a grain of salt, as Logan has said many things before. So I would trust actions rather than statements, because things change, plans change, and so on. But likely what would happen is we would get the SML movie. There would be one final, amazing video. And if they really want to do this and make a giant viral impact on the internet, they would likely permanently kill off main characters in a very touching, comedic, and emotional video. Because when you think about it, this video coming out would literally mean the death of millions of people's childhood. It would be a final ending to the entire SML story, which would be pretty cool, but also pretty sad at the same time. Which brings me to my question to you. What do you think is going to happen? What if there was one final, last, big, sad SML video? How would you react? What do you want to happen? Let me know down in the comments below. Like this video for more SML theories, subscribe so you don't miss those theories, and if you want to check out some more fun SML theories I've made, they're on screen right now for you.